Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another pre-market watch list here on the Boiler Room. So today is not a penny stock day, nor was really yesterday. It seems as if some of the energy is moving away from penny stocks and back into the higher cap stocks, and this is this is something we see. It constantly is a fluctuation from penny stocks into higher cap stocks, and right now that's what appears happening. There's a few penny stocks that are on my scanners here this morning. A new one too is actually IGC. Not that it's anything good. I just know that it's just popped up recently. Maybe it's something. Maybe. So again, it appears that maybe some of the volumes leaving the penny stock market, heading over to the higher cap stocks as of right now. So there is a few stocks, actually quite a few we'll be looking at, keeping the watch list well dispersed this morning so we don't miss any opportunities. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Some familiar faces: Daniels, Mr. J, Doug, Joel, Yuri, and Zarif. Thank you guys all for tuning in here this morning. Let's definitely get going on it, definitely get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let's just, let me get some of the stuff out of the way. Okay, and we'll move off level 2. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to go down the list of a few stocks that we got out here this morning. And let's just take a look at them. So first one here is Shutterfly, SFLY. It was $53, $54 a share. It gapped all the way up to $65 due to some good earnings. So this is one that we could potentially see go long and both short. So you got to think to yourself, this is a big gap. There could be a lot of traders that might be looking to take some profits off the table once the market does open. So realistically, we'll be watching Shutterfly, probably short. It is above its 52-week high. So right now, the stock in itself is up pretty big. So I will be watching Shutterfly for a possible short, which might be on a break below 64, or if it just shows signs or signals of a bearish pattern. But simply keeping Shutterfly on watch today just because of how big the gap is and because it had good earnings. So that's primarily why I will be watching Shutterfly, or SFLY, this morning. Yeah, sorry I was absent yesterday. Didn't really have time to hop on. Kind of got a little late start on the day. So again, SFLY, gonna be on watch here. Hopefully for a short, whether that's a confirmation for a head and shoulders, whatever seems to appear. If it's a bearish pattern, will be probably short bias on this today. Again, if it doesn't break down, if Shutterfly holds 64. It's probably not going to go short. It'll probably end up going long. So we'll just keep an eye on it for now. CMCM. Yeah, this one gapped up earlier, was kind of promising, but now that it's dumped out, we'll no longer be watching CMCM, so you can forget about that one. IMMR, next on the list. So IMMR is that stock that gapped up not too long ago. Hold on, let me get to this chart. Right, so it gapped all the way up into its 52-week high. Well, that could hold up, and it already has started holding up as a pretty good resistance. So there's a huge gap that it needs to fill to the downside. And right now, it's starting to reject. It rejected at the $12 mark, 52-week high, and it's starting to roll over. So today we'll be watching IMMR for potential short. As you can see, if I go back here to this daily chart, you'll see IMMR gapped up all the way to basically its 52-week high, a little bit above that at $12, and it started rejecting that price here at 12. So we will be looking and watching for IMMR potentially short on the day. I will cover MYSZ, and I will go over DPW. Another one is EA. EA was one that, as a stock that was 118 up to 129. based off of earnings. So it had some good earnings. Price has shot from 118, 117 to 129. It is seeing resistance right now at about the 129 to $128 level. So we'll be watching EA for potential long over 128 as it is making some higher lows. But if it does break down and stays below about 127, it might look to short it. So what I'm really watching for is to see if it kind of rejects the price below this 128, 127 level. If it wants to break above, I might take a stab at it for a possible long position. Next one on the list is MARK. Now, MARK is a long bias trade for me because it's been getting hammered for the past couple weeks to the downside. So it's starting to kind of bounce a little, and it started to already bounce right down here at this 850 level, 840. So again, this is something I'll be watching for a long bias trade is MARK because it lost so much value recently over the past couple, basically the past week. It's been downtrending from 15 now all the way down to 8. So there's a lot of room and a lot of margin to the upside for potentially long. So again, we'll be watching MARK potentially long. As of right now, I don't really have a buy point, just waiting to see what happens when it gets closer to the market open. So definitely keep MARK on watch for potential long today. And then the other two I had on watch, one is BLCM. This one had some bad news. I'm going to give credit to one of the members in our chat room and in the trading course, Vency. He has found this stock. Well, he found this one pre-market, and it had some bad news. I'm not going to go over the news in detail, but it had to do with something where they had some bad news. I think like some of their studies proven some like brain injuries or something along those lines. But either way, it has some bad news this morning, and the stock is gapping down from 8 all the way to 4. So really, it's gapped down quite a bit. As you can see, it's starting to pick up in higher lows. So kind of watching this one for both long and short. If the news is so powerful, we might see it continue down. So this one's just on watch right now because it had such bad news. We might see it actually pick back up and go long to kind of fill some of this gap, or it might consolidate today. But again, BLCM definitely on watch because of that bad news. And then the last one is JNPR. JNPR, bad earnings from 28 down to 25. We'll be watching this one for potential short continuation. All right, so let's see, we're down to 25. Right, so this is where the price is basically at. And it has bounced previously down here at 23.87 and at 24, like 24.50, 24.30. So there's 3 levels here that I'll be watching for. I want to see if 25 will hold up for a potential long, or if it breaks down from 25, may look to short with a target of 24. So there's a lot kind of going on here, but again, JNPR definitely on watch as it's had some bad earnings and the stock has been heading down. So the watch list is kind of all over the place, and that's primarily due to the fact that the market isn't giving us very easy plays. Like, you know, I like to trade penny stocks, but right now we're not getting any of the action on penny stocks. So making the watch list more diverse with more opportunity. So let's take a look at MYSZ. So MYSZ down to $1.93. Let me explain what's going on with this right now. Okay, so MYSZ went from 57 up to 3, and then it did this kind of uptrend consolidation, and it was looking for a breakout is what it was. I just drew this line. It was looking to break out previously above this, but it never could. And that's why you had this big red day followed by another red day. If the price, or the price is what, $1.93 now. So we're right about here at $1.93. So again, the reason MYSZ has broken down recently is because it was actually bullish and we were going for a breakout. But since that breakout failed and never happened, the price had to come down. And a lot of people that were holding MYSZ ended up selling because the breakout didn't happen. So now the price is all the way down just below $2 at $1.93. So now you have a major resistance point right above you, which is the $2 mark, because the price is $1.93. So you have major resistance at $2. So how do I feel about it right now? I don't feel good about it. I would not feel good about it to the long side, as it's starting to break down out of its pattern, and now we're definitely downtrending. So this is one that I would not be long bias on. And really, it's a penny stock, so it's most likely meant to be the price before it got all pumped up, which is 57 cents. So there's a lot of room to the downside that I do believe we will see on MYSZ. Next level that I would say we might see a bounce or something will be around the $1.50 area. Let's see. And then what else do we have? So DPW, to cover DPW. DPW is very similar, right? Penny stock that was 60 cents got pumped up to $5. As you can see, it started to crash and it rolled over. Now it's just consolidating above the $2 mark, unless that's broken today. No. So yeah, it was consolidating right in this $2 area. It's seen a spike today. Now this one, I would be more long biased on. Now, why would I be long biased on it? Because this is something very common that you see in penny stocks. After they pump up, they usually dump out, and then they find some footing, some area of support where they usually consolidate for a while until they consolidate for so long that eventually the price either has to break up or down. But a lot of times you will see them actually spike up. And it's simply because it's gone through such a long period of consolidation. It's held support for so long that short sellers know it's probably not going lower anymore. And then people start getting a little bit of a bullish trend to it, or people start getting a little bit more of a bullish attitude towards the stock. And then we might see it squeeze up a little bit. So to be honest, I'd be more long biased on DPW. And that's just my 2 cents on those two stocks right now. Am I going to... I used to love DPW when it was good, but now it's not. Now it's pretty much boring. So that's my my 2 cents on those two stocks, but nothing more than that. I probably won't even trade them, to be honest. So that is all I have for you here on the morning watch list. So to recap for anybody that maybe came in a little bit late here this morning, SFLY has earnings. We'll be watching that. IMMR overextended on the daily chart. We'll watch that one short. EA, what is EA? I think EA had some earnings, maybe. I think EA is good earnings as well. MARK and BLCM and JNPR, all on the watch list here this morning. So if you did miss it, you can always go back through here before the market open to get a better understanding of all the stocks that I've gone over. Had quite a few, but again, this one, ooh, what's that? Hold on. Something else popped up here, an old stock that I've traded before, SKLN. Interesting. Nah, not too much going on there yet. So that's really all I have for you here this morning. Again, all the links to everything are in the description below. So if you haven't already, you can join into the free version of the chat room. You can join the trading course. You can take a look at the stock trading broker that I use. All the links are in the description below. So make sure you check that out before you go. And then I will catch you guys all tomorrow morning.